Why is she there? Because Ryan wanted he wanted to isolate him. I want you to understand that. This is what...
In a surprising twist, Ryan Reynolds was absent from the red carpet at the premiere of Blake Lively's new film.
But what I think we're seeing now with this quote is WME absolutely got rid of him because of this.
A New York federal judge moved up a hearing to address an escalating request from Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds.
You mean to tell me that this whole time you guys are fawning over a book about domestic violence?
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' powerful super agent appeared on a podcast explaining why he believed Blake Lively instead of Justin Baloney. Wait, Blake Lively's attorneys are coming after us content creators now?
Girl, let me tell you, how deep do Hollywood pockets really go? New receipts just dropped, and honey, the whole industry is shaken like a tambourine at Sunday service. We talkin' serious mess about power, control, and that whole legal drama with Blake Lively. Now, you know Blake and Ryan ain't just your average pretty faces. They're the Hollywood royalty, baby, with that kind of money that makes your eyes water. We talkin' hundreds of millions, connections thicker than grandma's gravy, and they've been playing the public like a fiddle, keeping that image squeaky clean. Them friendships with the bigwigs, the media folks, and even them politicians? Girl, they got access that most folks can only dream of.
Fourth revelation that came is that Sony informed them that there would be a cast-wide boycott if James Heath or Justin Baldoni attended the premiere. How's that for that statement? Actually, we learn that on July 23rd, 2024, Sony informs Wayfarer, the studio financing the premiere and most of the film, that Lively had demanded that Baldoni, Heath, and Wayfarer refrain from attending the New York premiere and threaten to cast-wide boycott if they do. Oh, you know, this is really Justin's fault. I need to be man up and accept, you know, the public, you're noticing some things, but you're wrong, public. Basically, the command was gaslight the public while behind the scenes, we act awful. That was the command. That was the instruction, okay? And this kind of brings in the Brandon Sklenar piece, because I have just been amazed at how involved he got and how the cast just like knew that Justin was a good person but went along with this anyways. And I had reduced this to essentially A-list syndrome. Like all of these people who, if you even aspire to be like a Hollywood actor and actress, in most circumstances, you're dealing with someone who probably has some narcissistic tendencies. I'm not saying everyone, okay? But the majority. This is why we have these stereotypes about Hollywood.
Now, hold up, cause this is where the tea gets scalding. That 2016 interview with Kirsty Flohr? Honey, it's resurfaced, and it's painting a whole different picture of Miss Blake. We talkin' that Cafe Society press tour, and let me tell you, the vibes were icy. Flohr tried to give her a little congrats on the baby bump, and Blake? She hit back with that sarcasm so thick, you could cut it with a butter knife.
Now when I look at it, it's even more evidence that they were just completely ignoring me. If you watch this clip I'm going to show you, I think it's about 1.5 minutes long, Blake Lively does not look at me one single time until the end. Okay, here we go.
That's always nice, you know, to see that your idea of someone isn't always who they actually are, but be pleasantly surprised.
Well, we're just, you know, inundated with a lot of material. You can be if you have the internet of, you know, reading about these people and thinking that you know them and all that. And it's like the spectacle of that, of what we do as actors, that has risen a lot more in the past decade than ever before. So, yeah, misconceptions, like, I think if you're rich and famous that you're happy is probably the biggest. And we see that, you know, fame and success is a burden as much as it is a blessing. Yeah, I think that would probably be, you know what I mean? Like, I think people think, oh, if only I was recognized for what I do.
Aight, so listen up, y'all. Back in August 2024, Flohr dropped some bombshell footage on her YouTube, straight from an interview. She was like, "Dear, this the most awkward mess I ever been in." That video, phew, blew up, over 5 million views, and everybody and they mama was talking about Lively's behavior. Folks was asking real questions like, did her team been hiding this mess, keeping her squeaky clean? And even better, is she still trying to cover up the drama? fightin' that bad rep from her latest scandal? See, they were putting 2 and 2 together, and it wasn't looking good.
I really do want to talk about this because, yeah, Blake Lively's attorney is now warning content creators that are parroting Justin Baldoni's lines. It all comes in this document that we did talk about. I think this came out yesterday during the live, which if you missed yesterday's live with Zach, we had a wonderful time with Zach Peter. Hope to get him back. But I want to go through some of this because there's so much nonsense in this doc. And as Deadline here does sort of break down very well, it's just so much back and forth where ultimately they're just trying to agree on protective orders, which there should be some sort of protective order. No one's denying that, but no one wants to give. And honestly, Blake's asking for too much, in my opinion. She wants all celebrity correspondence to be private. It's called AEO, which is attorney's eyes only. All sort of private mentions from celebrities, etc., should be only for the attorneys. It's like, girl, no. You published his text messages. Can we just hold on, Blake? You published his text messages in a complaint that wasn't even a lawsuit and then gave it to the New York Times before you filed it officially. You're despicable and a massive hypocrite.
Now, peep this tea. Word on the street is Baldoni and his crew was out for blood, trying to drag Lively through the mud with media leaks and them legal papers. But hold up, Lively ain't no punk. Her squad, with her hubby Ryan Reynolds and that publicist Leslie Sloan, was fighting back, trying to mess up Baldoni's good name. And let's be real, Lively's got that Hollywood juice, them high society friends, so it ain't hard to believe she could get the media to spin the story her way. They was playing dirty, and honey, it was a whole mess.
Why is she there? Because Ryan wanted he wanted to isolate him. I want you to understand that. This is what really bugs me about this is narcissistic abuse. He wanted him to feel alone and like he had no one on his side. And the means for him to attain that was through his wealth and like the A-list clientele that he surrounds himself with. You know, me and Hugh are going to be on the set promoting your film, making fun of you. Like, I really want you guys to think about how insane that is. And this kind of throws me back to the real hero in all this, Martha Stewart. A while ago, went on to some show. She was promoting something, one thing or another. And she basically said that she knows Ryan and he's not a funny guy. Like, she was basically alerting the public to the fact that Ryan Reynolds is kind of a psycho. Like, she didn't say it, but she was like, he's pretty serious. Like, she's basically letting people know that he puts on this persona as this funny, nice guy, and this isn't who he is. And so listen to what Martha Stewart had to say on this random game show.
We asked Bilge members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny.
Okay, let me tell you, the plot just thickened like grandma's gravy. So, word on the street is, some sneaky audio from that Freakonomics podcast leaked, and guess who's spilling all the tea? Ari Emanuel, honey, the big cheese at Endeavor, straight up admitted he chopped Baldoni's WME contract like a bad weave. And get this, he said it was cause he's tight with Lively and Reynolds. Now, that's some messy business. This ain't just hearsay, this is cold, hard proof that Baldoni's pockets got hurt because of these slick allegations. That defamation lawsuit? It's about to be served, piping hot.
Exactly what happened here. This was where Ari Emanuel of WME, who is Blake, Ryan, and was Justin's agent, spoke very negatively, calling Justin baloney, all this stuff. He leveled in and talked about why he believes Blake and Ryan, while seemingly continuing to defame Justin. This is an agent, mind you, who has not yet publicly dropped Diddy, but he dropped Justin Baldoni because Blake and Ryan made him. As the articles have come out, it turns out more and more that, yeah, WME was pretty much forced by Ryan and Blake to drop Justin. So his insight is very interesting. And I was waiting to report on this until we could get the audio from the podcast itself, Freakonomics. But then something happened. It wasn't recorded. Listen to this.
When our excellent editor, Ellen Frankman, comes up to me with a look on her face that I couldn't quite figure out. In retrospect, she looked really ill. She was shaky, her face was pale. So I asked her, what's wrong? And she tells me that in addition to the audio failures we had earlier, there was another, even bigger failure. the show had not been recorded.
Now, hold up, cause this is where it gets real shady. So, this whole Freakonomics podcast with Ari Emanuel, right? Supposedly, it just vanished. Like, poof, gone with the wind. They claim some technical failure ate the whole thing. Audio and video. Girl, please, that's about as believable as a $2 bill. Somebody's playing games, and they think we're all asleep. But we see you. We see you. This ain't no accident. This is a cover-up, plain and simple. Somebody's trying to sweep this mess under the rug, but the roaches are still crawling. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. If you're feeling the vibe, hit that like button. And if you're new to the fam, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop the latest and greatest. Thanks for tuning in.